Okay, so what is the PPD and why is it taking money out of my paycheck? That is one question I've gotten more than anything, I think, in the last few weeks. So I thought I would address this in this new video. So PPD stands for Producer Price Differential. The short story is that it brings or takes away to producers' checks the pool funds in excess of the Class 3 price. And that's adjusted by the location from where the milk is received. Now that we're under the California Federal Milk Market Order in California, producers have been paid on the Class 3 component prices based on how many pounds of fat, protein, and other solids they produce. So this happens regardless of the total amount of money in the pool. If you think of the pool as a collection of dollars paid by processors for milk they utilize at each class price, you can imagine that dividing the amount of money by pounds produced would yield an amount that's above or below the Class 3 price, depending what other class prices are doing. This means that the Class 3 price that you've been paid needs to be adjusted depending on what type of amount is available through the pool.
Okay, so this is not necessarily more complicated than the California system and the way it paid directly on total pool value, but it's quite different. So taking a simplified numerical example may help with clarity a little bit. So if we take a Class 3 price of $15 a hundredweight and an ounce blend of $16.30, you can see those two here, the producer would be paid the Class 3 component prices for its components, so Class 3 price for butterfat, protein, other solids. Then he'd be paid a PPD of $1.30 per hundredweight on his milk. And so what you do is the $16.30 minus 15. That's for a producer that's shipping milk in Southern California. If the producer's shipping milk into Tulare, the PPD would be 80 cents a hundredweight. So you take that $1.30 minus a differential of 50 cents. The counter example, so if Class 3 is higher than other classes, this is when it yields a negative PPD, like we're currently seeing. So if Class 3 was 21, the blend average 20.50, the producers would be paid Class 3, but because it's about above the value available in the pool, then there would be a 50 cents per hundredweight on his milk. Again, that's for a producer in Southern California. So if you looked for a producer shipping milk into Fresno, the PPD deduction would be $1 per hundredweight. So we take that negative 50 cent and we take another 50 cents per hundredweight. Overall, the ending point gets the total value in the pool. It's just a different way of calculating it. And just to show you the September pool data, we can see here how little Class 3 was in the pool. And so 6% compared to 59% of the milk was Class 4. So we know that production didn't shift dramatically from recent months to September. It's rather the pooling decision that plants can do, especially when Class 3 has a higher value. It's advantageous for plants to keep those dollars instead of sharing it in the pool.
Okay, so if you have a high milk production volume with low components, the PPD will have a bigger impact on you, whether it's positive or negative. It's going to be a bigger impact than somebody who has higher components and a lower milk volume. Also, the larger the difference between the Class 3 price and other class prices, the more likely the PPD will be noticeable. And that's what we're seeing right now because Class 3 is above everything else. On top of it, because it's above everything else, it kind of gives an incentive for Class 3 to depool, and in turn, that decreases the blend price. So that makes the gap between what you get paid, which is the Class 3 components, and the blend price, what's available in the pool, even wider. You might have also noticed that PPD is impacted by the pool dollars, but also by the location. So those location differences exist to provide an incentive to move milk to deficit areas, which is typically where fluid plants are located. The principal pricing point, which is Los Angeles, includes LA, Orange, and San Diego counties. So those people don't have any further deduction on their PPD when their milk goes there. And really, as a reminder, the differentials apply to where your milk is going and not where the dairy is located. So each county has a differential that's applied to it. Just to give a few examples of some counties that are not, straight PPD no deduction. Imperial and Riverside are 10 cents below LA. Sonoma, Humboldt, Kern, they're 30 cents below the principal pricing point. Sacramento, San Joaquin, Merced, they're 40 cents below. And Tulare, Kings, and Fresno are 50 cents below. So if you're an independent shipper, this will have a direct impact for you, and you probably will see that number specifically. If you're a co-op member, you might see it. depending how they decide to deal with it, because co-ops have the option to reblend among their members, and so they can create different pricing zones within the co-op, depending how they're moving milk from one area to the next. So this concludes the brief overview on the PPD. If you have, as usual, more questions or ideas for topic, my email is below. And until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.